Hi everybody, it's Grey Goose, and today I wanted to talk to you about the Season 4 changes on Vision as they are on the PBE right now. And we're going to jump right in, a quick overview of what changed up until now. The wards are definitely going to be different. A personal ward limit has been introduced similar to the Sightstone mechanics. Trinkets, probably the biggest change of Season 4 in regards to Vision. There are a couple of brush changes, and the Oracle's Elixir is also changed. Now, as we move on to the Vision ward changes. Vision wards, up until now also commonly called pink wards, are now visible at all times. They have 5 hit points and they last until killed, not only 3 minutes, but until somebody goes up to them and hits them 5 times. They also only cost 75 gold now, so they've gotten a lot cheaper. But each player can only place 1 Vision ward. On the other hand, Sight green wards have been renamed to stealth wards, since they're now the only ones invisible, and each person can only put down a maximum of 3 stealth wards. Now, that's similar to the Ruby Sightstone, in which case you'll also be able to put down 3 wards at a time, and as soon as you put down a 4th ward, the first one will die. However, now, that is combined with your normal wards as well. So if you put down 2 green wards, normally that you bought at the store, then pick up a Ruby Sightstone, you can still place 1 ward with the Ruby Sightstone, but the second ward you place with the Sightstone will delete your first green ward. So that's definitely something you have to pay attention to, and it's definitely going to change the way that the map is being warded up, since the support can only put down a maximum of 3 green and 1 pink wards. Now, that forces the other allies to also buy wards in order to get the same amount of vision that you are used to having right now. Namely, also the 80. Actually, on the bot lane, you should still be fine with only the support warding, since 3 wards should be plenty to take care of the bot lane. But if you want vision on Baron, Dragon, and then River, and then the enemy jungle, the rest of your team has to really come and help you out with that. So, the most interesting thing here are going to be the trinkets. There is a 7th item slot that is introduced in Season 4 in addition to the 6 item slots you already have, and each player can only have 1 trinket at a time. The first level of trinkets is free. There are 3 trinkets, 3 kinds of trinkets to get, and the first one is going to be the Warding Totem. That places a stealth ward for 60 seconds with a 120-second cooldown. So every 2 minutes you have a 1-minute ward. Then there's the Scrying Orb, which basically functions similarly to Clairvoyance does right now. It reveals a target location in 1100 range for 1 second. So it's much shorter than Clairvoyance, and the range at which it's able to be cast is also much shorter. The cooldown, 150 seconds, 2.5 minutes, isn't too devastating, but it's definitely quite a while. However, it does of course enable you to avoid face-checking bushes, especially on invades and similar things. Then there's the Sweeping Lens. It disables and reveals any nearby hidden wards, traps, or devices for 4 seconds on a 180-second cooldown. Now this is going to be, if you chase a Teemo, you're going to want this, because it shows where his shrooms are, and it disables them for 4 seconds. So even if you walk over one, it doesn't do anything to you. Same goes for if you are fighting against a Shaco, and you want to invade on him, you want to prevent him from doing something to you, you want to gank him, God knows what. But this is definitely going to be an interesting thing there, because of course his Jack-in-the-Boxes will be disabled, and you can walk right into them, into the bush, and ignore them for 4 seconds. Then they'll activate. So that's really something to look out for as well. But it's definitely going to be a very interesting item, and I'm looking forward to see how this can be utilized, especially against champions like, of course, Teemo or Shaco. It does not, however, reveal champions, so Akali, you're safe. Twitch, you're safe. Shaco, you're safe from that part at least. And many people were worried about that, but it's definitely not going to happen. Now, then these trinkets, they'll upgrade automatically once your champion hits level 9. And the Warding Totem will become a Greater Warding Totem, and that'll place a stealth ward for 120 seconds on a 120-second cooldown. So you can always place a new one as soon as yours runs out. Then there's the Greater Orb. That has the same functionality as the Scrying Orb, just that the cast range is increased to 2000 as opposed to the 1100. And finally, we have the Greater Lens, and now the sweep area of effect is increased by 100%, so a much, much larger radius, and the cooldown is reduced to 150 seconds. You can use it 30 seconds sooner than you would be able to otherwise. Now, then, there's still a second upgrade that you can buy at the shop for 475 gold, and this is where it gets really, really interesting. You can either have the Greater Stealth Totem, which gives you a 3-minute ward on a 3-minute cooldown. So that's going to be really, really powerful. But you can also get the Vision Totem, and that'll place a Vision Ward on a 180-second cooldown. So you don't always have to buy a pink ward if you have this, and I think that's definitely going to be something that supports are going to be looking for, so they have this extra pink ward in case an objective comes up. Of course, there's also the Farsight Orb. Cast range now increased to 2,500 on a 120-second cooldown, so the cast range increased even farther. And the Oracle's Lens now grants True Sight for 10 seconds after activation. That finally reveals champions. That's going to be crucial when fighting against Akali or Twitch. And that's going to be on a 90-second cooldown, so it's also fairly short. And I'm really looking forward to how this will affect gameplay. Now, finally, there are changes to the brushes. They can now generally be revealed with a single ward, so supports in that bot lane, you will not have to use 3 green wards just to reveal the entire lane bush. Thank God. As a support main, I am incredibly happy about this. The bushes are going to be much smaller and less curved, as you can see right there around the blue buff. It doesn't go all the way around the trees anymore, it's just a tiny bit. Also in the river, that banana bush is not a banana bush anymore. It's just a little line, and you can't go around the corner anymore. So the juking in and out of brushes will have to be more, and around the corners will definitely be less. And the top lane bush is separated into 3 smaller bushes. And that's really going to be extremely interesting with champions like Renekton, with Jax, that can juke very well in and out of bushes with their movement speed abilities. And I can't wait to see how this affects the matchups. Finally, 2 last things. The Oracle's Elixir is dead. Yes, they actually plan to remove it out of the game, take it out of the game, remove it from the game. I'm still very conflicted about this. Of course, it was a great item to achieve objective control, and with the pink wards now being the only way to clear out wards, to clear out stealth wards, we're gonna have to see how the vision game goes in Season 4. But I'm also very relieved. It was a money-eating devil that was just taking gold away from the supports, from the jungler, and if it had stayed in, we would have gone back to the point where we were in Season 2, that the jungler picks up a very early oracles and puts on a lot of map pressure just by killing the enemy wards all the time. And so I like that change. I'm going to be looking forward to see how that affects the build paths and how many pink wards you actually need. I can't really imagine, since it's visible, so it's really easy to kill, and a vision war will basically consist of a support putting down a stealth ward, somebody else putting down a vision ward, and then the enemy team killing the vision ward and putting their own stealth ward there again. And really, I think the only time you'll really use vision wards is when you want immediate objective control. So if you're about to take Dragon, if you're about to take Baron, that's when you're going to want to put that down. But that just leaves a lot of map vision out there with those stealth wards that, I mean, people are still going to place them. And now you have much fewer ways of clearing them. So I think that, especially in the late game, the overall map vision from both teams will be much bigger. A much larger percentage of the map will actually be visible at all times if the entire team wards. If it's still only the support, the overall map vision will be less. Please note that all of this is only on the PBE for now, and nothing is set in stone. Everything is still subject to change. I hope you liked this video, and I'm looking forward to doing more of these in the future. Have a good one, and enjoy your day.